Hello, lovely, and welcome to the Essence of Expression podcast. Get ready to explore insights, lessons, practices, and wisdom from life for life. I'm your host, Arejay, healer, teacher, student, and sage. I'm excited and honored to have you with me on this journey. Let's dive in. So, if you want to create a life where you're thriving, one of the biggest aspects of that is going to be putting more of you into your life and living according to other people's rules. Note, I'm not talking about laws, but rules, like how you move, how you operate, isn't going to get you there, because you need to learn your rules and how you're meant to move, right? So I wanted to share with you 9 signs that you're living according to other people's rules, because sometimes it's a question that comes up, like, how do you know whether or not you're living according to your rules and how you're meant to move versus according to other people's? So the first sign is you've only ever done it one way, and that was the way that you were taught. And there's no shame in this. There's nothing, like, I'm not throwing shade. I've been there. I've done stuff that I've done a particular way, like, all my life, because that's just how I was taught to do it, until I started to question things. And so it can be, these can be massive things in life, and they can be even little teeny tiny small things. So for me, one of the small things I realized probably about a year or two ago now, I like rolled towels. I don't like them folded, but I've always folded them because I was taught to fold them. And at one point in time, I was doing laundry and putting up the towels, and I was folding the towels, and I was like, why am I folding this towel? If I like rolled towels, why am I folding my own towels instead of rolling them? And it was just a matter of, it was habit. That's what I was taught, like helping mom with laundry when I was little. You fold the towels because that's what you do. So it can be something as small as that, right? But it's something, if you're really only ever done it one way, and that's just because that's how you were taught, and especially if it's something that you were taught when you were a small child, like, explore doing it a little different. Sign number 2, your successes feel hollow. So yes, you're making achievements. Yes, other people want to make it a big deal. And for you, it's just like, okay, I've done it. I've checked it off the box. Now what? Right? There's not a moment of excitement or happiness. It was just you performing something that was expected of you. So you did it. We're done. Sign number 3. You want to say no, but you say yes out of guilt or obligation. Also, the flip side of this too is a sign where you want to say yes, but you say no because of, like, what people may think of you. So pay attention to the areas where initially you're like, I don't really want to do that, but yet you continue to say yes, and start to ask yourself, like, why are you saying yes? And even better, if you can just start to catch yourself and just go ahead and go with the no that you actually want to say, right? And same thing for the yes, where you feel like you want to say yes, but it's coming out as a no. Like, why is that no coming up, right? Is it a legitimate, like, oh, hey, it registered and maybe, like, this puts me in danger, so no, I don't want to do it? Or is it like, people may think less of me, or people may not look at me the same, and that's why. Sign 4, you make decisions by committee. Now, I'm not saying, hey, if a decision is going to impact other people in your life, that you don't talk about the decision with them. But what I am saying is going to others before you have an idea of which way you're leaning, right? So you haven't even come to a conclusion of which direction you would prefer. on your own before you start asking other people and outsourcing the decision. Sign 5. You don't remember the last time you asked yourself what you want from your life, career, relationship, whatever it is, and actually answered in the affirmative. So oftentimes what this can look like, and this can be a tricky one because you could be like, oh, like I ask myself, what do I want all the time? But a lot of the times our answers to that question before we've really sat with that question is to start to list off the things that we don't want. And it's the things that we're just trying to get away from. And trying to move away from something is not the same as trying to go towards what you actually want. So when you can ask yourself the question of what do I want, and it comes out, I want this job, and there's like a reason why you actually want it, and that reason isn't to not be broke, right? To not this, or to get away from this crappy boss that I'm at now, right? So really sit with yourself. First off, if a lot of us don't ask, like, what do we want, and give ourselves that opportunity to answer that. So if you haven't done that, take some time and do that. And also, if you haven't done it, you are far more likely to come up with answers that are in the negative. So like, I want this thing to not be by this other thing. I want this thing so that I'm not where I am now. Not because you actually want that thing, but because you're just trying to move away from your current situation or from the past experiences that you've had, right? So like, what do you want in a relationship? And you're like, oh, I just want someone who's not an asshole or not a bitch. Like, that's not what you truly want. That's you still moving away from something. And think and dig deeper about, like, what does it actually look like when you play in your head what this person is doing, like what that relationship serves, right? What does it look like? Same thing for like, what do you want out of life? What do you want out of a career? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is your experience like inside of this? I lost my place in the numbering. I think we're on 6. Yeah. Okay. So sign 6. The word should comes up a lot in your thoughts and your self-talk. Okay. Should is one of the biggest indicators that it's not you, right? There is something running in the background. At some point in time, you were taught that this is appropriate, or you were given a blueprint on how this should go or how to do something, and you're still operating within that, right? I should get up and do the laundry when your body is clearly asking you to rest, right? That's the type of thing that I'm talking about. But should comes up a lot, like, oh, I should do this, I shouldn't do that. I should give this person a call, I should give this person a chance. Like, should usually indicates that that's not what you're actually desiring to do in the moment. Because when it's what you desire to do in the moment, it's like, oh, hey, I need to. Oh, hey, I want to. Oh, hey, let me. Right? So start noticing when and where should is making appearances in your life, and take a deeper look at that, because those are probably some areas that you're living according to someone else's rules. Sign 7. You cannot passionately answer the question, what are your values? So this one is often where you will see a lot of kind of passed along prescribed things come in for values, because we're first taught these when we're little, right? Like people's interactions, our parents, whoever was around to kind of guide us, who we looked up to, whatever, begin to give us a blueprint of what is valued, right? Like what traits are valued. And if we haven't consciously taken time to look at this, we're probably still operating under the list of values that were prescribed to us, and they may not be ones that we actually align with. And part of how you're going to tell that is maybe you can list off the values when you're asked what you value, but it sounds like a memorized list rather than a list where there's feeling behind it and where you actually have that sensation in your body of like, yes. Sign number 8. You keep trying to do what you see others do and they progress, but you don't. You're probably trying to move in a way that's not meant for you. Okay. And especially if you're trying to do it like exactly how they do it, and there's still just this disparity in between like how much they can grow with it and how much you do, and even how they carry it versus how you carry it, right? So it might be like really heavy for you, it might be very exhausting, and it's not for them because they're moving the way their energy is meant to, and you're not. Okay, so just be mindful. And it's not necessarily that, so like let's say for instance you are building a business, right? I don't want you to think, oh, that means I'm not meant to build a business. That's not what I'm saying. But the like model that you're choosing, the way you're trying to structure it, what it's going to require from you based on the structure may not be in accordance with who you are, and so you may need to change that, right? It's not that, hey, we can't do the thing that we're desiring to do. It's often that, hey, we're trying to bring it about in a way that is based off what we have seen other people do or we've had modeled for us, that may not take into account our energy, our role, who we are, who we're meant to be, and what our mission and purpose is. And so there may be adjustments that are required for us to succeed in it, if that's what we're trying to do. Sign 9. You desire change in your life, but you don't take steps to make it happen. And this one is kind of twofold, right? Because there are two things potentially going on here. One is that you think you're supposed to want this thing, and so you don't truly want it. Like at the core of who you are and every fiber of your being, you don't actually want it, but it was set as the goal early on, right? So you're not taking steps to actually make it happen because you don't truly want it. You're just kind of saying you want it, right? And then the other part is you really do desire the change, but there is some rule somewhere along your path that got placed that says you can't do that, or you don't deserve that, or that's too grandiose, or any other number of things, right? But there's some rule in place that taking steps toward it is conflicting with an idea of how you are meant to behave and what's going to be acceptable and what keeps you being loved and what keeps you worthy, etc. So those are the 9 signs. I would love to hear from you. Which one of these 9 you experience most frequently? And you can share that with me. You can find the post on Instagram for this podcast episode and just comment which of the 9 is coming up more often for you. Thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this episode, please take a moment to share it with them. If you're interested in joining a community and diving further into these topics, please visit theessenceofexpression.com/community and request to join our community group. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.